Alright folks, Pitching Case 88, we are back on Criminal Case on Facebook. We are going on to chapter number 3 of Flatline. Alright, so lights went out. Are you alright, Ace? It looks like there's been a blackout. Don't worry everyone, that aftershock must have damaged the station's electricity grid. Wait, Rita, is that you? Oh, right. Sorry, Ace. Just give me a minute. I'll have the lights back on in no time. What'd I tell you, Ace? Weapons are my only area of expertise. I'll have to double check the wiring to make sure it doesn't happen again, but for now, it's all systems go. Well, I'll let you get on that, Rita. In the meantime, Ace, we should stay on the killer's trail and make another sweep of the crisis center. I agree. Whoa. Creepy AF. Rita, you look creepy. That chapter art, man. That chapter art's interesting. Well, despite having only worked from the crisis center for a few days, Dr. Gibbs sure made his presence known. If these clues are anything to go by, Ace, that position badge was obviously his, and those are the doctor's initials. Let's unlock it and see what's inside. And look at this patient file, Dr. Gibbs. It belongs to Richard Harding. He said he was just the victim's maintenance man, not a patient. Some of the file's contents are faded. Let's retrieve the details and see what Mr. Harding was hiding. According to that Frame magazine, our victim was chosen as Chime Magazine's Person of the Year, but someone changed it to Liar of the Year. Collecting those red particles from the frame could tell us who. This could be the clue that cracks the case. Oh, creepy. Creepy. Prying into someone's journal like this, but any insight into Dr. Gibbs may help us find his killer. There are too many entries for us to read ourselves, Ace, but it sounds like a task that's right up Gabriel's alley. Man, every time, man, that picture is creepy. It's creepy. Alright, so what we got here? Are you seeing this, Ace? The patient file not only confirms that Richard Harding was being treated by Dr. Gibbs, but that he's HIV positive. I'd like to explain why he pretended not to know one of the victim's patients. He wanted to keep his treatment confidential. And while I understand Mr. Harding's desire for privacy, lying during a murder investigation is always a mistake. Ace, we need to talk to Richard Harding. Oh, was Dr. Gibbs the guy? I don't know. Interesting. Interesting. Let's get the results from the Frame magazine under the microscope. The quicker we discover who nominated Dr. Gibbs as Liar of the Year, the better. Love it, man. We're doing a lot of investigative work right now. Lots of clues, lots of clues. suggest you collect his pulverized bauxite, a volcanic mineral. That's not necessarily surprising after the earthquake. There are subterranean rocks all over the place. But this is strange. Ace, bauxite isn't part of the road rock structure in Grimsboro, but it's common in parts of Australia. A volcanic rock common to Australia. Why, that can only easily have been deposited by Rob Ruby Armstrong, the volcanologist. So, was Miss Armstrong the one accusing the victim of being a liar? She better explain to us why. Yeah, but if it's something that points to one person, it's usually not going to be anything too substantiated. I'm sorry Reader restored the station's power so soon after the blackout, Ace. I enjoy reading by candlelight. Well, I hope you have been reading, Gabriel. Did you find anything in the doctor's journal that's relevant to this case? Yes, you're in luck, Ace. The doctor's entries offer insight into his family dynamic, in particular his relationship with his brother. Well, that makes sense. Danny Gibbs did admire his older brother. I imagine they were close. On the contrary, Ace, from what I can tell, there was an intense rivalry between the two siblings. This entry, for example, recounting a Thanksgiving dinner after dessert, Father praised my recent conference presentation, and as usual, Danny boy stormed out of the room. Or this one, Danny was whining again, this time because of my new car. Is it my fault I earn more money than he does? Then there's... Okay, Gabriel, we get the picture. Mr. Gibbs didn't strike me as a man with a chip on his shoulder, but clearly he wasn't telling us the whole story. I agree, Ace. We need to have another word with Danny Gibbs. Well, if he had all that money, why couldn't he pay his rent? That's something that needs to be answered. Excuse us, Mr. Hardy. We know it's a delicate subject, but Secretary J has found your medical file. We know Dr. Gibbs was treating you. Oh, so you know the truth then. I never expected experience illness before. I've always been very conscious of my health. I played football in high school, a left-handed quarterback, and I quit smoking and started using those e-cigarettes. So when Dr. Gibbs diagnosed me, saying I had contracted the virus, I was devastated. Yeah, it must be hard for you to lose your physician at a time like this. Actually, I'd been planning on changing doctors. I told him I wanted to keep my illness quiet at first, but he sent my wife a brochure about how to support an HIV-positive person. I was going to tell her in my own time. I needed to find the right words, but she thought I was trying to hide it, so she packed up and left me. Gone are the days when we sent each other sweet filter pic messages all the time. She doesn't even talk to me anymore now, all because of that meddling doctor. Losing your wife after contracting HIV must have been a real blow. Let's just hope you didn't take your frustration on Dr. Gibbs. Well, if you contracted it through woohooing, then and it's not your wife, then you cheated on her and it's not her fault. Well, it's time you explain what you're really doing here, Miss Armstrong. You pretended to know nothing about Dr. Gibbs, yet you know you accused him of being a liar. Oh great, you found that framed magazine. Well, that man was a liar. He lured me to Grimsboro under false pretenses. Wait, he lured you? What are you talking about? I met Dr. Gibbs months ago on an online discussion forum. He claimed to be a geologist working here in Grimsboro. When the earthquake struck, Gibbs urged me to come here, offering to pay for the trip and exclusive access to the lava flows. But after I hurried here, there was no lab, no VIP access, and no money. Gibbs was just a family doctor who'd been trolling me the whole time. All he wanted to do was sleep with me. Wow, you mean Dr. Gibbs got you to come all the way here to hit on you? Exactly. He bombarded me with flirty filter pics messages. I had to block my account. He wouldn't accept that I'm interested in women, not men. Why is this happening to me? Guys pretend to be professionals, but all they want to do is get in my pants. Well, the doctor's behavior was deplorable, Ms. Armstrong. Let's just hope you didn't kill him and get him off your back. Told you. Pretty sure it's not her. Could definitely be him. Secret Engineers, are you any closer to finding my brother's killer? I can't imagine who would want to hurt him. Well, we're starting to imagine it might have been you, Mr. Gibbs. Me murder Greg? That's ridiculous. Secret J's found your brother's diary. He seemed to think that you were jealous of him. Thanksgiving, for example. Oh, here it comes. Greg's not even alive, and I'm still hearing about my parents fawning over him. It was never ending. Greg had either published a book, received some award, or rescued a kitten from a tree. Whatever it was, I gotta hear all about it. It never even mattered what I was doing. I have an important job, I save lives too. But Greg was forever patronizing everything that I did. Took every ounce of my strength to pretend to you that I admired him. But now that he's gone, my family will appreciate me for being the shining star that I am. Cuckoo, cuckoo. While Mr. Gibbs, James finds out that you put your brother's lights out for good, impressing your family will be limited to prison visiting hours. Well, you'll be glad to know I've double-checked all the power lines in Station 8, so we won't be having any more blackouts. Well, that's good news, Rita, but as far as this investigation is concerned, we're still in the dark. Despite the victim's reputation as a wholesome family physician, not everyone was enamored by the good doctor. Ruby Armstrong claims Dr. Gibbs lured her to Grimsboro under false pretense, ultimately more interested in her body than her brain. And the victim's brother has a huge chip on his shoulder, tired of living in Dr. Gibbs' shadow. But would any of them have been pushed to the point of murder? I agree, there's one surefire way to find out, returning to the scene of the crime. Oh dear, there's Moobot going out at it again. Doesn't like caps. Matchbox, balloons, and earrings. Where the heck are they? Great. Got the star so we can finish everything. Nice. You guys, I completely misses broken pieces amongst the rest of the debris, but you're right, these are stained with blood. Let's reassemble the broken device and see what it could be. And you want to search that pile of rubble, Ace. We can spend all day rummaging through the junk out here, but if you insist, I know better than to argue. We should hurry. Dr. Gibbs can't be allowed to use this earthquake to get away with murder. Moobot and I are going to have a chat after this. We're going to have a chat. I mean, one is you guys shouldn't be using all caps, but I'm going to have a discussion with him. Is this a phone? What is this? He can't use this. Ace, I still don't know what the device is, but if the blood on the victims, we need to find out. Let's get it to Rupert. Just read it. That picture is like Alan Muir. Creepy, man. Alright. Yeah. Murder weapon. Oh my goodness, Ace, that knife buried in the pile of rubble is completely covered in blood. It's like a hunting knife, and given the victim's throat was cut with one, we can be pretty sure that this is the murder weapon. However, let's not take any chance of having Rita examine this knife. Alright guys, you guys ready? Once I clean off all the blood and gunk, it's an impressive blade. This knife is indeed the murder weapon. If the victim's blood wasn't enough of an indication, the blade profile matches the victim's blood. Excellent. Did the killer leave any other clues behind, Rita? Well, not exactly. Apart from the blood and dirt, there were no other substances present, certainly no fingerprints. But once I cleaned the knife, I found a set of faded initials carved into the handle, barely visible to the naked eye, especially under all of that muck. However, although they faded and worn from the years of use, the letters are clearly under magnification. The killer's initials are RH. Well, they can do their best to hide, but concealing their own name is impossible. Ace, we're looking for a killer with the initials RH. Interesting. The brother of the plumber. You think so? Well, you don't know where Amir is by any chance, Ace. I've not seen him since he was tidying up the supply room. Yeah, I don't know, Rupert. We've had our hands full with this investigation. Well, naturally. Speaking of which, I confirmed the bloodstain on this contraption, and it's matched for the victim, so you can be quite certain it belonged to his killer. As for the gadget itself, I had no idea what it was, so I enlisted the help of young Alex here. Alex? Oh yeah, Kathy's at home with little Sammy, so what do you got? It wasn't actually that hard, Ace. I had one of these myself. It's a synchronized hub for a grit fit. Instead of a Fitbit. A grit fit, alright? Those watch-like thingies that keep track of your daily exercise? Exactly. The device monitors your heart rate, tracks your movements, and calorie consumption. Quite the little gadget. This little socket allows for the user to synchronize their correct fit data to a laptop or tablet. So given that you killed or dropped it, we can be certain that they're wearing a grip fit. Well, once you get your hands on the killer ace, the only exercise they'll be getting is the prison yard. Yep. This case, it's time we arrest this killer. Oh yeah, baby. Oh yeah. Alright, so I'm gonna guess it's this guy. Richard Harding. It's not you. It's the plumber. That's right-handed. This is left-handed. Nice. Richard Harding, you're under arrest for the murder of Dr. Graves. Me kill the doctor? I'm just a handyman trying to earn a living. You can't deny you were angry with the victim. We know you sent him a threatening message on filter pics. Filter pics? Millions of people use that. But you are the only one of them who's at the crime scene. You left a liquid stain from your e-cigarette on the victim's tie. Think I have time to wander around the city taking cigarette breaks? I've been swamped with work because of this earthquake. We know you went to Walston Square. You dropped a bloodstained knife carved with your initials into a pile of rubble. Did you really murder Dr. Gibbs because he informed your wife of your HIV treatment? No, I killed him because he was the one who gave me the virus in the first place. Wait, what? Oh, that scum used a dirty needle when he used my blood tests. I never would have known about it except soon after I was working on the pipes in his office, climbing around on the walls. I overheard him dictating his personal log that he was worried he'd given me HIV by mistake. When I confronted Dr. Gibbs, he denied everything, saying that there was no proof. Then he tried to buy me off, saying he'd treat me for free. Like that would make up for infecting me and ruining my life. I'm HIV positive now, and my wife's left me. And all of that is his fault. That's just awful, Mr. Harding, but you had to know that killing Dr. Gibbs wouldn't undo any of that damage. At least I'd get my revenge. So when the earthquake struck, I knew it was time. I thought the body would get lost in the rubble. I'm afraid you left us no choice, Mr. Harding. You're under arrest for the murder of Dr. Gibbs. Yeah, that's rough on his part. Richard Harding, your face is court accused of the murder of Dr. Gray Gibbs. How do you plead? Guilty, Your Honor. I ended that man's life because he destroyed mine. I have no regrets. While Dr. Gibbs' gross misconduct is inexcusable, Mr. Harding, nevertheless, this court cannot condone premeditated murder. I therefore have no alternative but to sentence you to 10 years in prison. 10 years? Wow. That means she thinks Dr. Gibbs is a bad person, because 10 years is nothing for slashing a guy's throat. 10 years, what does it matter? This virus is a life sentence anyways. It's true. There's one thing I've learned about working in homicide cases, it's that nobody is really what they seem. An otherwise honest family man turns out to be a cold-blooded killer. While seemingly wholesome victim is hiding dark secrets, Dr. Gibbs should have taken responsibility for his negligence. In any case, now that the investigation is over, we can focus on the earthquake relief efforts. Come on, Ace, there's still work to be done. Nice. What's the additional investigation called? On shaky ground. Sweet. So I'll see you guys in the AI. That's my Fishing Idiot. Over and out.